Shabbat Shalom. Take a breath, everyone. It's hard to do that in the midst of this very dark time. And since October 7th, we have been holding on to so much darkness. We've been holding on to the names of the 1,400 plus people who were murdered on that day and beyond. We continue to hold on to the names of the hostages who have still not been released. We continue to hold on to our grief and shock at the anti-Semitism that is rising around us. And I hope that you will join me and many of our synagogue on November 28th when we begin to talk about these things and learn about the shapeshifter that is anti-Semitism. But here I want to address something else, something that feels maybe a little bit sacrilegious at this moment, and that is the need for us to go on experiencing and expressing joy. Now, I have to be honest, at first throughout this month, I wondered where I would personally get the energy to bring uplift and joy to our Bima. And those of you who know me or have seen me on our Temple Judea Bima know that it really doesn't matter what is happening before. Once we start singing, there just is joy. Shabbat brings joy, and I get carried away with it, and I think we all do. But this time I've struggled with a few things. One, I haven't been sure that I wanted to feel joy in the midst of this pain. Second, I haven't been sure I actually could. And third, even if I could find that joy, and I wanted to find that joy, part of me hasn't been sure that it was even appropriate to do so. Maybe it was disloyal or something didn't sit well. You know, we've heard the teachings, and some of them have come from rabbis at Temple Judea and also elsewhere. We've all been saying this, that there are verses in the Talmud that suggest that when a funeral procession and a wedding procession cross at the same time, the funeral procession is the one that has to stop to let the wedding party go first. And then there's the fact that Shabbat upends mourning. Shiva actually stops at Shabbat, and celebration is supposed to go on during that time. Now, that all seems doable in the face of a personal loss, at least to some extent. If one person is in mourning, but joins the community and is struggling, perhaps the others can bring some uplift and warmth. Maybe they can cocoon the mourner in some way to help them through this awkward juxtaposition of emotions. But what about when the whole community is mourning? What do we do? So I actually Googled this, and I looked at all the rabbinic texts I know how to find, and there are plenty of explanations for how to ritually observe Shabbat when you're experiencing grief and mourning. All those details are there. And I do believe that doing the thing and going through those emotions and motions will kind of bring you the rest of the way there. But what about when it feels disingenuous or wrong to experience joy? It's like these days when people ask the question, how are you? And you don't know how to answer. None of us know how to answer that question, because while things may be going well in our personal lives, we are not okay. And whenever we are actually okay for those 5 seconds, then someone asks that question, and then we're reminded that we're really not okay. So we're living on multiple planes right now. Our personal lives on one plane and the Jewish community on another. And I want, as your rabbi, to give you permission to actually live in both places. A spiritual teacher from a different tradition expressed recently to me that she believes the human heart cannot feel two things at once. Her tradition feels this, so that faith literally chases away fear and love chases away sorrow. But that isn't true for us Jews. We actually hold on to both of those things. We've learned through the centuries that it is okay to feel joy while also feeling grief. In fact, it's actually mandatory. The world needs our joy. It needs our love. It needs our sense of optimism and hope wherever we can find it. This world is going to feel painful. It's going to be painful for a long while. We aren't going to be out of this war anytime soon, and we need to generate the strength to persevere. That strength is built from gratitude and joy and hope and connections with other people and downright laughter. After all, who better than the Jewish people finds comedy in everything? And most of that is derived from the bottom of whatever historical pit we find ourselves in. So I want you to take a moment wherever you are and stop. Take a breath. Look around for something that's beautiful. Allow yourselves to feel those feelings. Find something in your life that makes you laugh, that makes you really happy. Look for something ridiculous or funny and share that story with someone. There's a video I saw at the beginning of the war asking a soldier asking us to do those things, to tell someone a joke, to find a way to praise and thank and laugh at the things that are good, because that's what sustains us and that's what sustains them and that's what makes it all worth it. It isn't heretical to find the joy along with the pain. It is crucial to our survival. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom, a Shabbat full of joy and laughter and light.